wind howled across the sleepy town of Blackwood, rattling the wooden shutters of the old houses and carrying with it the scent of rain-soaked earth. It was the kind of place where everyone knew everyone, and stories passed down from one generation to the next clung to the people like shadows they could never escape. Among those stories, one was whispered with trembling lips, told only when the fire burned low and the children begged for tales of fright. It was the story of the Jack-in-the-Box that should never have been opened. Claire Dawson had never believed in local folklore. She was 27, strong-willed, and rational to the core. Having returned to Blackwood after her mother's sudden passing, she was left with the daunting task of clearing out her childhood home. Her father had died when she was young, and her mother had lived a quiet, secluded life in the creaking Victorian house at the edge of the forest. On the second day of her return, Claire stumbled across a peculiar object in the attic. Dust floated in the air as the single bulb overhead flickered, revealing boxes of forgotten belongings, faded photographs, and broken toys. But in one corner, beneath a moth-eaten sheet, something gleamed faintly. Pulling back the cloth, Claire froze. It was a Jack-in-the-Box, but not like the playful ones she had seen as a child. This one was larger, carved from dark wood with intricate patterns of twisting vines and screaming faces. The handle was made of brass, shaped like a skeletal hand. Its surface bore strange symbols she couldn't recognize, somewhere between runes and claw marks. Her breath caught in her throat. Taped to the box was a yellowed piece of paper, written in her mother's shaky handwriting. "Do not open. Ever." Claire shivered, her rational mind at war with the sudden dread curling in her stomach. Why would her mother keep such an eerie object? Why hide it instead of destroying it? Curiosity gnawed at her, even as unease warned her to leave it alone. She carried the box downstairs, telling herself it was just another odd antique. That night, the storm rolled in. Rain lashed against the windows, and thunder shook the foundations of the house. Claire sat in the living room, the Jack-in-the-Box on the coffee table before her. She sipped wine to calm her nerves, staring at it as if it dared her to touch it. Finally, she gave in. Her fingers trembled slightly as she wound the brass handle. The box made a deep, metallic clicking noise, followed by a haunting tune, an unfamiliar melody, slow and discordant, unlike the cheerful jingles of normal toys. The notes seemed to stretch unnaturally, echoing in the room long after they should have ended. Then, silence. The lid creaked open. But no clown popped out. No puppet. Nothing. Just darkness inside, deeper than the box's size should allow. Claire leaned closer. That was when she heard it, a faint giggle, soft and childlike, echoing from within the darkness. She recoiled, slamming the lid shut. Her heart pounded as she pushed the box aside, trying to laugh it off as stress and exhaustion. But the house had changed. She felt it. The shadows seemed thicker, the air colder. She turned off the lights and went upstairs, trying to convince herself she was imagining things. That night, the nightmare began. Claire dreamt of children, pale, hollow-eyed, their mouths twisted into wide grins. They surrounded her bed, whispering in voices that didn't belong to them. Their heads turned unnaturally, bones cracking, as they sang the same discordant melody she had heard from the box. When she awoke, the Jack-in-the-Box was on her nightstand. She hadn't moved it there. Claire screamed, shoving it to the floor. The lid popped open again with a creak, and this time, something moved inside. A pale hand, small but grotesquely elongated, reached up before vanishing into the shadows. She refused to sleep after that. Over the next few days, the terror escalated. Doors slammed shut on their own. Whispers followed her through the halls, always just out of understanding. She caught glimpses of figures in mirrors, children with hollow eyes, smiling at her. And always the Jack-in-the-Box was there. No matter where she left it, locked in a drawer, buried in the attic, even thrown outside into the rain, it returned, waiting for her. Desperate, Claire searched through her mother's belongings for answers. She found an old diary, its final pages filled with frantic scrawls. It feeds on curiosity. The children are its messengers. I tried to lock it away, but it always returns. My husband opened it once, and it took him. His laughter still haunts the halls. Please, if you find this, never turn the handle. Claire's blood ran cold. She realized her father hadn't died in an accident, as she was told. The box had taken him. Now it wanted her. That evening, the box began winding itself. The handle turned with a slow, deliberate rhythm, playing its cursed melody. Claire stood frozen, tears streaming down her face as the lid began to rise. This time something came out. A figure unfolded from the impossible darkness, gaunt, skeletal, with skin stretched tight over its frame. Its face was painted like a clown, but grotesque, smeared and distorted. Its mouth filled with jagged teeth. Its eyes glowed faintly, hollow yet piercing. It grinned. "Peekaboo," it whispered, though its lips never moved. The voice came from inside her head. Claire ran, but the house warped around her. Doors led to nowhere. Hallways stretched endlessly. No matter where she turned, the creature was there, stepping closer, its movements jerky like a puppet. Behind it, the pale children followed, giggling, their hollow eyes never blinking. In desperation, Claire grabbed the box and shouted, "What do you want?" The creature tilted its head, the sound of bones cracking. Then it spoke. Another player. Before she could react, the children lunged, pulling her into the darkness of the box. The house grew silent. The storm outside faded. Days later, the neighbors found the Dawson house abandoned. Claire was gone, her belongings untouched, but the jack-in-the-box sat on the coffee table, closed, waiting. And in the dead of night, if one stood close enough, they could hear it playing its discordant tune.